and thank you for joining the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I am your host for the podcast today. I appreciate you joining me. This is the podcast that is dedicated to helping people get past their excuses, helping people get past saying, I'm going to do it someday or one day, and realizing that the time is always now. It's helping people harness the power in the eternal moment of now. That's what it's all about. So I appreciate you joining me today. If you want to donate to the cause, by all means, if you go to my website, it's terenceyoungnow.com. You can donate there, and I appreciate it. So thank you in advance for that. And I'm excited about being here just to give you an update. CD is out, the meditation CD, Gaia Sounds from Mother Earth. I am working on the videos for the speaking course, the 6 steps to creating an engaging speech. It's coming along well. I was doing some videos this week and some other things came up, so I'm not finished yet. But if you're interested in being a part of that course, taking that course, by all means, the link is in my bio on my website, on my Facebook page, on my website, where you can sign up to the Coming Soon page and get information on that as soon as it's ready. You'll be the first to know. So for sure. And always my class about finding your passion is already up and running. So if you want to get in on that course, link is in my bio there as well. It'll take you right to the course. And if you know anyone who's searching to find that passion, find that thing that God put them here to do, by all means, let them know about it. I would love to work with them in any way that I can. I do one-on-one coaching as well. So if you're interested in finding your passion coaching, by all means, contact me and let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do. My passion is to help people find their passion. That's what it's about. So for this week on the podcast, we've been talking about discipline all week, and I'm gonna follow this format for now and see how it goes. I've been talking about discipline. I went live talking about discipline. I want to share some of the things that I shared on my live and some of the things I've shared all week about ways we can cultivate discipline in our lives. And the question is, why is it important? It's important because you can't achieve anything without being disciplined. It doesn't matter what it is in your life. You must be disciplined if you want to achieve it. You have to have a formula to go through. And I'm going to share with you some ideas on how you can be disciplined in your life. And there's 3 tips I'm going to give you today. And definitely, if you want to write these down, write them down, take them down. This is important information that we all need. So the first one is this. If you want to cultivate discipline, you've got to remove the temptation that you have. You got to remove the temptation. That's the first thing. I can tell you this, and I shared this with many others before. I love drinking Coca-Cola. Yep, and I have to drop it. So when I was training for marathons, and even just in general, I'll make myself remove that temptation. So definitely don't buy it, and don't bring it in the house, right? So you don't have that. So not only do I not bring it in the house, that's removing the temptation, I even replace it with something else. So I use the seltzer water. And I had a funny post about that this week on social media about, 2 types of people in this world. The people that drink seltzer water and the people that don't. But yeah, I have that to replace that temptation of drinking Coke. Because I don't want to drink Coke. I want to remove that temptation. So I have to put that discipline on myself. And it's so, so important. There's a great quote I'll use. Good habits are a result of resisting temptation. Think about it one more minute. Good habits are a result of resisting temptation. That's what it is. We have a temptation of whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be another person, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, ex, if you will. You have to resist that temptation, right? You have to remove yourself from that, right? Remove the temptation. So if it's an ex, then you've got to remove yourself from that. How many times have you known somebody, or maybe yourself, where you had a relationship and then they're going right back and going to hang out with the ex, or talk with the ex, or text the ex, or call the ex? We're just going to be friends. No, you have to remove yourself from the temptation, or you're going to end up right back in the situation you were in, and they're exes for a reason. Exes are exes for a reason, right? So you have to invoke that discipline on yourself. Part of that is removing the temptation in the first place. So that is number one, remove the temptation. The second one is this, embrace the new habit. Embrace the new habit. You're creating a new habit and you have to embrace it. I'll share this with you. Building a new habit, it takes time and consistency. Building any new habit takes time and consistency. It's going to take time to do it. The consistency, that is discipline. Time and consistency. That's discipline over time, right? You have to do it. As a runner, when I would train to run, and I trained and built up to run long distance, I just didn't walk out the door one day and go run 26.2 miles. No, I started out running smaller, increments, running 1 mile, then 2 miles and 3 miles, doing 5Ks and 10Ks and 15Ks and things like that. You have to build up to being able to do that new habit, if you will, right? Which takes discipline along the way, time and consistency. What is that for you? What is the new habit? Is it starting a new diet, or is it starting a new workout regimen, or whatever? You have to give it time and consistency and embrace that new habit. And when I say embrace it, it's so important because remember, we work on autopilot, meaning our minds are working on our subconsciously most of the time, which is not a bad thing. We just need to know and recognize the difference. When we learn something new, we're working in our conscious mind. But then once we learn it, it goes to our subconscious mind. So if you get up in the morning and brush your teeth, take a shower, brush your teeth, drink your coffee or whatever, and we'll head out the door. Have you ever done that and realized you never thought about any of that stuff that you do? It's automatic. It's automatic. You ever hopped on a bike and went riding? You don't think about how to ride a bike anymore. You learned when you were 5 or whatever, and you never think about it. You just get on and ride. That's our subconscious mind taking over, which is a good thing. It allows us to be able to function without having to think about everything, right? But that's working through our basal ganglia, the part of our brain, our basal ganglia. It's our subconscious mind. But when you give your mind or your brain something new, now you're working on your prefrontal cortex. Now you're making a decision. You're making an active decision consciously to change. And here's what happens. Your brain says, I don't want to do that. It says, no, I don't want to do that. You have to consciously change that, and you have to embrace the fact that you're going to have this battle between yourself. That's why the number 2 is so important. Embracing the change, embracing the new habit. Your mind, your body is going to fight it. You're out there doing that new workout plan, your muscles are going to hurt. And you're going to wake up and say, why am I even doing this? You got to remind yourself why you're doing it. You got to have the end in mind, the result in mind. I'm doing this for better health, or whatever the case may be for you, right? But you have to have that in mind. That's what keeps you going. Embrace the new habit. In order to invoke and cultivate discipline in your life, the second step, you've got to embrace your new habit and be prepared that you're going to have a battle within yourself on doing this. Your mind's not going to do it. Your brain is not going to want to do it. Your body's not going to want to do it. Do it anyway. Embrace the new habit and be prepared for that. If you do, you'll be able to handle it better when these opportunities, challenges come along. So number 1, first thing you got to do, remove the temptation in the first place. Number 2, embrace the new habit. So important. Embrace the new habit. The third one is this. Take baby steps. You got to take baby steps. Sometimes we forget that baby steps still move us forward. Right? We're not moving backwards, we're moving forward. Take baby steps. That's so important. You can't jump in and just go from 0 to 60. You gotta slowly, they say you gotta crawl before you walk, walk before you run. These things are true. These things are so true. You've got to do that. I remember I was learning, I've been teaching, not teaching, I've been playing the piano and the guitar. Piano about 20 years, guitar probably, I don't know, 15 or so now. But when I first started, I was just learning. Right? I was just learning how to play the keyboard, and I was playing for the children's ministry in my church, and I was barely learning how to play 3 chords, right? And if you're in the Christian music, you know one chord for the Lord, right? It's in G. It's in G. So you play a G, C, and D, and maybe E minor if you get in there. So I learned just those. When you got me a little cheap keyboard, play G, C, and D just like that. That's how I learned 20 years ago. Playing for the children. I slowly started to get better. Then I started leading the children's ministry. Then I started helping out with the adults. Then I started leading the adults. And now I play keyboard, I play guitar, I speak, and sing, and travel all over the state of Florida and the Southeast. But I still had to invoke that discipline back then on myself and take baby steps, right? Take baby steps along the way to grow my knowledge of the keyboard, my knowledge of music and how it works, right? And you're going to have setbacks, right? It's not going to always be a smooth ride. There's a great picture I saw one time that says your idea of success goes like this, and then how success really looks like it's like this. It's all over the place, right? You're going to have setbacks. You're going to go this way and then you're going to take a couple steps back. But Dr. Willie Jolly said this, and I love it. He said a setback is just a setup for a comeback. I love it. You're gonna have that. It's funny. This week I was supposed to run yesterday, and I wasn't invoking discipline myself. It rained a little bit, and right around the time I was gonna run, it started raining for about a good hour, and I put it off. I couldn't go run in the rain, but it stopped raining, and I could have went and ran, but I didn't. But you know what? I got up this morning, and I said I'm right back on it. I'm not gonna chastise myself. I'm gonna get right back on it and go running again. I went out and ran this morning. So take baby steps. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're gonna have setbacks, but still come back stronger. Come back stronger and know that you can take those baby steps are gonna get you to where you wanna go. If you want to invoke discipline in your life, you've got to be able to do that. You got to be able to take baby steps. You try to jump from here to there, what's going to happen is you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall, right? But if you just take baby steps, one at a time, you'll build momentum. And this is important. This is why this step is so crucial. You're building momentum. You're building confidence, right? Whether it be a workout plan, whether it be a diet, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your finances, whether it be in your relationships, what you're doing is you're building confidence. That momentum builds confidence along the way. And it starts to momentum, it starts to move, and it starts to roll, and it gets better and better and better, and you grow from that. That's why it's so important to take those baby steps. So if you want to cultivate discipline, self-discipline into your life, then make sure you do that. Remove the temptation, right? Whatever it is. If it's food, if it's alcohol or drugs, you can't hang out with those people anymore. If it's an ex, you can't hang out with the ex, you can't call them, you can't text them. Remove the temptation. That's invoking self-discipline. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to have that setback. That's the first one. Second one, embrace the new habit. You are going to have a battle within yourself. Expect it, be prepared for it, and be prepared to tell your mind, oh no mind, we're doing this. We're getting up in the morning at 5:30. We're going to work out. We're writing that business plan. Whatever the case may be, embrace that new habit, and you'll slowly build. You'll slowly build. You'll slowly grow. And finally, the third step, take baby steps. You want to invoke discipline? Take baby steps. Don't try to jump and do everything at once. Build the momentum, build the confidence as you go, and that will take you to where you want to be. So I'll tell you, if you find your passion and what you love to do in life, what sets you on fire, you'll have no problem with any of these steps of invoking discipline or cultivating discipline in your life. So I encourage you, find your passion, find the thing that you love to do. If you do that, you'll have no problem with cultivating discipline at all. These things will happen. They'll happen naturally for you. You won't even have to worry about it. So definitely do that. I appreciate you. Being with me today on the podcast. I hope these words help you out. I hope these tips can help you cultivate some self-discipline to help you move your life forward. That's what this podcast is all about, making tangible changes in your life for the better right now. So definitely do that. Definitely remove the temptations. Embrace the new habit and take baby steps. If you do that, you'll cultivate self-discipline in your life and improve your life for the better. If you do that, then you can unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. This is T.Y. I am signing off. Remember, the time is always now.